Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope the end of the week is going well for all of you. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. It greatly helps the channel, so thank you very much. Today, I think, is going to be one of the most important videos of the channel. And on 13 October, it will basically mark the 4-month anniversary of the channel. And I would like to thank you all for following me, for liking it, for subscribing to me. It greatly helps the channel, and I do hope that you continue to do the same. And I think it would be a good time, as it approaches almost, if you can believe that, a third of a year that I've been on YouTube. And as you know, I don't plan and I will never have paid group, Patreons, Discords, selling courses, any of that. I think the maximum I can have will be eventually become monetized one day. But in any case, I would like to reflect to some of the things that I've said before when I joined the channel. And I would like you to internally contrast with all the information that you hear from people around and make your own decision if what I said makes more sense or not. And isn't it weird that somebody who tells you all of these things for free is often right more times than the people who charge you for money and are completely wrong? So things that I said: gold would go to 1850 by, I meant end of August, but I did say end of July. But I did say the trajectory is clearly down. And on the other side, you had people like Peter Schiff saying gold, $3,000. Guess what? We are in September, so it took one extra month that I thought, but we did go to 1850. When all the news were popping recently about oil prices going to 100, hedge funds were making bets the price is going to go to 100. I said we should peak by the end of September, beginning of October. What I said is meaningful top that should last for months, not a top and now never again we'll see. No, a meaningful top that will last for months. Guess what? 27 September, WTI crude oil went to $94 and it's now at 82 or 83. Then I said no recession this year. Why? Because everyone was expecting it. So my prediction was no recession. You would go on YouTube, you would go turn on Bloomberg, turn on CNBC. All of them were predicting the end of the world. And mostly focused on commercial real estate and banks. Told you that's not the problem because everybody's aware of it. So if it's going to be something to create some uncertainty, will be China and things that people consider very safe, like government bonds. So at the time, TLT which is the index, the ETF for 10 and 30-year government bonds, the very safe instruments, were actually above 105. And in the meantime, the rating agencies have downgraded the US government bonds, and the bond market has pretty much went down, and the stock market and what did I say? The bond market takes the lead over the other markets. If it collapses too much, the rest follows. Bonds went down, stocks went down, real estate went down, and commodities went down. The only thing that is staying more resilient is crypto because of its own separate cycle. I did mention that back in July, where everybody was talking about commercial real estate and the banking crisis and the liquidity crisis. I said, no, small banks can go bankrupt. Sure, regional banks can go bankrupt. I can tell you the big banks will not go bankrupt no matter what. So they will come up with some stories and it will never go down. What did I say also this year about recessions? Goldman Sachs and other American banks, plus the Fed, are saying that we're going to avoid a recession. For sure. No more fears of recession, blah, blah, blah. Now it's the time for the future that you should be concerned. What else did I say? Higher interest rate. Higher for longer. Remember that? That's what they want to do. They want to keep interest rates higher and longer and get away for as long as possible from the money printing business. The market was pricing rate cuts later this year, around now actually, we should be cutting now, according to the prediction of the specialists. And here we are today debating if we're going to get a rate increase or not. And even if they pause, they will try to hold it for longer. Now, I said something else. Because of the trade deficits in the US, because of the budget deficits of the US government, it's impossible to have higher interest rates because the government debt of the US is always going up, which means that naturally already pushes interest rates higher, which means higher interest rates, higher interest payments, higher debt, so on and so forth. So eventually the Fed will need to reverse course. What else? Look at the big sideways movement, something that I said. S&P between 4,200 and 4,600, 620. Now we can go a bit up, we can go a bit down, but these are the big ranges. 4,200 is the extreme on the low side, which we've recently seen, and 4,600 was the extreme on the high side, which we also recently seen. I predicted new all-time highs, US Nasdaq 100, Dow Jones, S&P by 31st March 2024, Russell 50-50, because I thought it would be underperformed the other markets, because as interest rates go up, bonds come down, fear that more banks go bankrupt, fear those regional banks are in the Russell 2000, so it drags the index down. Guess what? Russell 2000 is underperforming the other assets. What will transform everything in the next 10 to 20 years? AI. Which stocks have led the bull run this year? AI. What did I say about crypto? We're gonna see a big move up, sideways, boring as hell, because this is the recovery year. Maybe we drop down to 24,000, which we just did recently, about a month ago, and then most likely we're gonna hold that level. Maybe we go a bit lower if some big collapse happens. The closer we get to the bull market cycle, the halvening, the less likely it is that we're going to have a double bottom. Finally, Ethereum spot ETF. I thought it was going to come at the end of the bull market. It actually came, but I actually talked about it at a time where nobody was looking at it. Other things, reverse stock split of AMC is going to get through. Check. Dilution is coming for AMC like never seen before. Check. The price of AMC is going to collapse. Check. If fundamentals is the only thing that can save that company, we will see about quarter 3. Otherwise, the whole thing's going to collapse. No, none of these things was going to start the MOS. So what I'm trying to say here is, am I a genius of any sort? No, I'm not. I just have enough experience to have seen many of these things happen. And in the future, notice that I don't make daily predictions. I make some predictions for the next 2 to 3 months, and I am right more times than I'm wrong. But I don't make predictions on a daily basis, because the more you make, the worse you can get. Now, for people who's been following me so long, oh, by the way, there's also something else that I predicted. Get ready for reverse stock split's gonna start the MOS, or other trades to save your AMC losses. Guess what? It's happening right now. And I've already said 2 other things. When the crypto bull market starts, you're gonna see 1,000 YouTube channels being created about this coin's gonna go up 10x, that coin's gonna go up 10x on a daily basis. And the idea of those YouTube channels will be to get ad revenue and to convince you to buy their stuff so they can derive passive income out of you. We will see if I'm right or wrong, but I can already smell it coming. And this will also apply for meme stocks. Now, the big difference of all of this is that I share with you my opinion. So I'm not encouraging you to do anything with the information that I give you. I'm just here for educational purposes. And the reason why I make these predictions is not to boast about it. It's because unfortunately I know that, particularly because I wear a mask and because I don't make fancy editing and I don't sell anything, and I have a small channel. It's growing very well. We have an excellent community here. But I know that if I don't predict certain things, and more accurately than not, the people just lose interest. I get it. So the reason why I predicted these things is to showcase that most likely than not, I will be right about certain things, and that I don't charge anything to anybody because I really don't need YouTube to make a living. This is my hobby. I hope to give you the knowledge or the understanding of why certain things happen in the market. And much of this is not that hard, in the sense that if you can see where the world or where certain markets are going into, if you have done the research in the past, if you think about stuff over a 3, 6, 9, 12 months period, it's easier than if I come here on a daily basis with a cell phone making predictions. I mean, I'm going to be right probably half of the time. But it's pure luck. Like, some things I'll be very convinced they're going to happen, they don't. Some things I'm not really convinced that they just happen. And then I just come here and say, oh, buy my course, join my Patreon, or join my Discord, join this, join that. Now, when it comes to crypto, and I do believe it's the best place for average people to have a chance to create generational wealth. I do believe that. We'll see if that is the case or not, but that's my opinion. I'm not telling you to go buy anything or sell anything, not giving you financial advice. I am just sharing my opinion. Now, there's something that I look at, and it works extremely well. It's called Metcalfe's Law, in which that's the power of networks. So you see, when people like Peter Schiff say, oh, why did Elon Musk spend $44 billion to buy Twitter? He could just make a new Twitter much cheaper. Yeah, but Twitter has 400 million active users. See, he forgets, he doesn't understand the power of network. And actually, Metcalfe's Law is very simple. If you increase your user base by 10, the price of the coin goes up 10 squared. Example, if a coin is doing as a million users and it goes to 10 million users, price should go up 10 squared, which is 100-fold. What happened to Shiba Inu? Shiba Inu user base went up by more than 1,000-fold. Pricing went up by 1,000,000-fold. X price went up by 100-fold. X user base went up by 100-fold. Price went up by 10,000-fold. Bitcoin, during its cycles, same things. User base goes up by 10, price goes up by 100. Cardano also happened. BNB, same story. Ethereum, same story. This has worked many, many times. What people forget is that it works on the reverse side as well. So when the user base goes down, the pricing of these things go down. Now, is this a scientific law? Does this mean it needs to happen all the time? No, but the cases that actually happens is uncanny. So what I do is actually, if I look at the user base of X, for example, of Pulse Chain, and it does have about 15,000 users. If you go to 150,000, I predict that Pulse Chain price will go up 100-fold. And that's what I'm expecting. And that's why I've accumulated quite hardly now. Now, I do have an idea where we are in the cycle, if there is going to be a good buy opportunities. When it comes to crypto, what I do, you guys do whatever you want. If you want to do some fancy technical analysis, is up to you. You do yourselves. What I try to do is, accumulation years are bear market, recovery year. 2018, 2019, 2022, 2023, so on and so forth. And then the rest of the years is actually more about having the cold blood to go for exit strategies rather than go crazy on the way up. And again, I hope for the many of you who have joined since the beginning, you have noticed that many of the things that I've mentioned end up happening. Told them all for free, or predict them all for free. Even that I'm right, I'm not going to leverage it to sell you anything, or I've been right most of the times. I won't leverage it to sell you anything, because that would be disingenuous and that would create a bad dynamic in the channel. So what I'm asking is two things. Number one, don't use me for your trading guides or anything like that, or for financial advice. Just, if you like, come with me in my journey and see me go through my journey towards what I hope to be generation wealth. And I hope that I can, help you become educated on the whole little tricks of YouTube and how they use people like you and me to derive their precious passive income, because all these people make money not from their market investments. They make money from you. Never forget. So I hope that you guys don't fall for guys like Jeremy, Financial Education, and all of these clowns in terms of investing, because most people have been completely annihilated for doing so. But their following is at all-time highs, and the money he's making on YouTube is at all-time highs. So he's fine. He's doing well. People who listen to him are destroyed. So thank you very much for your support. Don't forget, drop that like and subscribe. It's the only thing that I ask. And I will catch you in the next one. See you tomorrow, guys.